Hey everyone, welcome back to the Dannphan channel. We're doing an indie comic review. It's Behemoth by NerdWonder. For those of you who don't know who NerdWonder is, she's probably primarily known for her Twitter at this point. Although she did do some YouTube videos way back in the day. I don't think she's posting anymore, but yes, she did this comic called Behemoth. Now you can kind of tell that the art style she's working with here is still a little bit rough, still in its early stages. And with time, I think that she could polish it up and make it look much better. But honestly, I kinda don't mind the art style. I kinda like it to some degree. It kinda hits my soft spot when it comes to those cartoonish expressions. And I think the coloring definitely helps the art pop in a lot of scenarios. One thing that I think is genuinely a problem with the art style as it is the fact that I can tell there's not a whole lot of experience doing backgrounds. And so you get very bare bones backgrounds where the perspective is not quite right. And sometimes you even get over the top shots like this, which is just terrible. You can kind of tell why the cover is as bare bones as it is, because she's probably not very skilled at drawing backgrounds at this point. But she does have a style here, and there is stuff to genuinely work off of. I think if you had trouble with backgrounds per se, though, I would have preferred taking a little bit more inspiration from manga with those solid one-color backgrounds and then just the main characters doing some cool pose or something. I'm not digging this brick wall at all. I don't know why she's standing or sitting on the edge of a tank gun. It's just... it doesn't do it for me, you know? And if you're working off of your own skills, but you want to be more efficient in kind of hiding your lesser skills, you know, you do something like this, where it's just a solid color in the back and then your character's doing some cool pose. But I don't think that the art style is bad per se. It just needs a little bit more polish here and there, you know? Work on those backgrounds, work on some perspective shots, and work on making some things a little bit more dynamic. There are genuinely some interesting shots here and there. I mean, this looks pretty cool. It looks unique and you're having a little bit of fun here. And here at the end with the light moving around, and you see little glimpses of the action that's happening. You know, that's cool. So I'm not gonna spend the whole video knocking the art. I know that there's some potential here, and as she continues to work on it, she will improve. There are quite a few grammatical errors that I did notice, and in general kind of just stiff dialogue, some sentences that just don't read very well, and I have to reread them over and over again to really figure out what the heck they're trying to say. Multiple word balloons without periods at the end, so I don't know if the sentence is over or not. This one right here, it doesn't end on a period, and so I thought that it was going to continue when he says, "I want to know about those," and then I was waiting. I was like, wait, did they miss a word balloon in this next panel? Those what? What those? But really, what she means to write here in this word balloon is, I want to know about those, emphasis on the word those, period at the end, so that I know the sentence is over. What he's actually saying is, I want to know about those handcuffs, or ankle cuffs, I should say. So that's something you gotta work on going forward. But now I talked about the art, I talked about some of the grammatical problems and dialogue problems within the comic. Let's actually talk about the story, because that's usually what people want to hear about when they click on a comic review. They want to hear, okay, well, how good was the story? So we start off the story with our main character in this shitty country wearing nothing but a coat and ankle bracelets and cuffs, walking into a bar and trying to get a free drink because she's naked. And sure enough, a guy gropes her ass, which sparks a fight. She ends up being saved by a journalist, of all people, who's traveling in the country for the latest hot scoop. So he kind of saves the day, and she decides to go traveling with him. As they travel, they talk with each other and get to know each other, and that's when Taja, the main character, unveils her backstory to him. So basically, she's a gorilla, one who just loves killing. Just absolutely loves killing. Doesn't matter what side they're on. She just wants to see their guts spilled on the floor. And then finally, at some point, she was captured, and instead of, being put to death or being imprisoned, they decided to run some experiments on her. The experiments gave her the ability to turn into a behemoth monster with furry tits. Now, I don't know if you guys know my stance on hairy tits, but I'm not really for them. I feel like it's only okay if, the characters have a shirt on so that I don't have to look at the hairy tits. But if you don't have a shirt on, it's kinda weird. I'm looking at you, Sally Acorn. So yes, the experiments that were done on her gave her the ability to turn into this monster, but they have these cuffs on her to restrain the monster so that she still maintains her humanity, and she managed to get one of the cuffs on her neck off. But she wants the rest of the cuffs off of her because she wants to turn into some uncontrollable monster. And I guess destroy things? I mean, the way that they set it up, they make Taja out to be just kinda evil. Not somebody that you want to help. She's like, I want to get all the cuffs off so that I can turn into an uncontrollable, killable monster that nobody can defeat. It's like, okay. Bye. And turning into a very strong beast, right? Obviously, she'll be biting people and stuff. But the way that they are showing her biting people, it seems a lot more like she's just straight up eating them. Then when she turns back human again, there's no blood on her. Did she just like the taste of human blood and flesh so much that she licked herself clean? I don't like how that sounded when I voiced that out loud. I retract this statement. Don't imagine that. But yeah, is she evil and also a cannibal? Is that what we're going with here? With Taja? She's an evil cannibal? And I think that's kind of my main issue with the story. I mean, the story itself kind of generic, right? Human experimentation, they create monsters, and one of the monsters rebels against the system. Yeah, sure. I'm having trouble finding a character to root for in the story. You can make her childish and very quirky all you like, but how am I supposed to root for her becoming this ultra powerful monster that'll kill everybody and possibly eat them? That is obviously a goal that I can't really endorse per se. Then there's the reporter guy, right? And I don't really have much of a reason to root for him either. Typically, reporters are the bad guys in a lot of media, and he's helping a murderous cannibal, so he's probably a bad guy in this instance as well. So then we just got two bad guys and more bad guys, just everybody in this country is also a bad guy. What is the purpose of me reading it? What is the outcome that I desire for this comic series? That's the main issue that I really have with it. I don't know what I'm searching for as I turn the page. Usually when you introduce a character and you give them a motivation, it's a motivation that you want to see the character achieve, but I don't want her to achieve what she's motivated to do. And then the reporter guy is just gonna hang out with her now because he wants the scoop, and because she has not indicated that she would kill him, so he's like, yeah, I'm probably fine. Now, at the end of the comic, we're kind of given this preview into what to expect from the next issue or volume. They're going to send another, experiment after her, and then there's gonna be a monster on monster fight, which is usually what they do with this concept. Is you set up like their power level by having them fight the normal guys, and then the next volume you actually get someone who's more equivalent on their power level, and then you just fight, bam bam. And yeah, that was Behemoth, ladies and gentlemen, by NerdWonder. Like I said, it not horrible. It didn't like offend me or anything. It didn't frustrate me necessarily reading it, but it's not something that has completely captured my attention. It's not something that I really care about reading more of, because I don't really, like I said, I don't really root for either of the characters. I've had this problem with other types of stories where they introduce like kind of a more morally ambiguous or sometimes straight up evil main character. I understand that sometimes those characters can be pretty intriguing to watch go on their journey, or to watch fight the even badder bad guys, right? It's not completely impossible to tell a good story while having someone who's not a good guy be the main character, but I do definitely have more of an issue latching on to the character if they're not a good person or if their goals are not good. That in mind, Behemoth is not a series that I can really jump into full force. But I do wish the best for NerdWonder and many other indie creators out there. Stick around, maybe we'll do some more indie comic reviews in the future. Like the video if you did, enjoy, comment, tap 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 typey type down below. Subscribe if you'd like to see more of these videos from me. Check out burningstarcomics.net if you'd like to see some of my comics or other comics I have published. That's all, folks. See you next time. Bye!
Program restart.